From the heart of Maine, this is the Do View Podcast.
All right, and welcome to this week's episode of the Do View Podcast. I am your host, Do, a.k.a. Ryan Dumont, and this week I am joined by Maine musician, Mr. Rob Burnell. Rob, buddy, thank you for coming on the podcast.
What's up? Thank you for having me, man.
Not a problem. Happy to have you. And so, did you grow up in the Augusta area or Maine in general? Can you call yourself a Maine original, buddy?
Damn right.
Right?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. What town do you call home?
Reedfield.
Excellent. Do you go to Marana Cook High School?
I did.
And all that.
Did.
Actually, it's funny. Speaking of Marana Cook, do you know Sue Karen? Or did you have
Karen,
Sue Karen?
I do. I had Sue Karen.
So, funny story. Sue Karen.
Love Mrs. Karen.
I
love me some Mrs. Karen.
She's a great lady. But I actually went to school with her son, Mitchell. He and I knew each other from like age 5, age 4 at daycare, all the way through to high school. You know, we went to. I got a picture of us back in 2015 when we graduated high school, like side by side with a picture of the two of us when we were at like daycare as kids. It's a really, really cool thing. But
She's
good people. There were some good. There are some good folks
good
out.
People.
Good,
Jinx.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. So have you always called Maine home, buddy, or have you bounced around a little bit, or is Maine
man,
always?
Maine is home. Always has been. Always will be, man. I was born here. I'll probably die here.
Hey, I hope I can say the same.
Yeah.
Definitely born here. Dying, well, it's a little bit
God,
out in the future.
God, that's not really, that part is, it ain't really up to me. That was
right.
God put me here. That's what I believe.
Hey, we're blessed, man.
You know what I mean?
God's country. They call it Maine. God's
you
country
can't
for a
choose
reason,
where you're
so,
born, dude.
No.
Maine was the spot he chose.
Yep. Yeah, most definitely. So what's your favorite part about living in this state? Is it the community, the culture, the outdoors? What does it do for you?
For me, it's family.
Yep.
I mean, if I didn't have the family I got, I probably wouldn't be here. That's why I came back from LA.
Yep.
It's just family.
Yeah, family's a huge motivating factor for so many people, and I know a lot of us in Maine, you know, we're blessed to have such big families, usually in a pretty close vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
You lucky enough to call that. Most of your family resides out Reedfield way.
Yeah, in and around.
Yep,
I got
nice.
some scattered throughout here and there.
Yeah, nice.
Other places, North Carolina,
Yep,
Arizona,
nice,
Connecticut.
nice. Yeah,
But mostly we're up in Maine.
Yeah,
We're
right
New
on.
Englanders.
yeah. And so when you're here in Maine, what are your favorite things to do, buddy? Like when you're not, as we'll get into the music side of things in just a couple of minutes. When you're not playing gigs or being a
when
dad.
I'm not doing music, I get it. When I'm not doing music, I'd say, family time, like I said.
Yep.
A little disc golf.
Ooh,
Frisbee golf.
chuck a disc, yeah, buddy.
I don't know
Me
if
too.
you play that.
Oh yeah.
But I've been doing that for quite some time.
Yeah. What's your favorite local place to go chuck a disc?
Oh, dude, they're all so good.
Oh, I know. I got to
mean,
put you on the spot though.
I got a few. I got to shout out D&D.
Yep.
CNR Farms, Augusta Disc Golf.
Yep.
Belgrade. I could just keep
Yeah,
going.
you could keep going.
There's so many good courses, owners out there.
Right, yeah. Oh, a lot of the
whole
owners
community.
are
Burnsboro.
Awesome.
Rick
yep.
Burns.
Yep, nice.
I knew I was forgetting somebody.
Yeah.
I can't forget them.
Well, actually, I got
that was
into
number one.
I got into disc golf during COVID, actually, because it was like one of the few things you could, still go out and do with your buddies. And so I didn't realize, like, my dad's a big golfer, and so, he and I talk golf once in a while, but I didn't realize, like, you had all the different, like, I guess I'll call it discs or clubs, you know what I'm saying? Like the equivalent. You got your driver, you've got your midi, you've got your putter.
You've got more than you need.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
You've got way more than you need.
I mean, I got like 3 discs, and I feel pretty established with that, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't realize, like, what a culture and, like, what a great group of folks chuck disc,
I live for disc golf.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, music is life, disc is life.
when music isn't life, disc is life, and
then
vice
I guess
versa.
riding my Harley. I got that from my dad.
Nice.
I got my pop's old Sportster, so I like to push that as much as possible.
Yeah, mate. I am
those 3 things and 4 things: family, music, disc, riding.
Maybe
That's
or
me.
maybe not in that order.
And not in any order, all number one.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
Right.
it. That's it. I'm happy.
That's awesome. Hey, that's not a thing that everybody can say though, buddy. And for you to be able to identify that,
Money's not on that list
Yeah.
for me. You're not gonna hear me say
Yep.
that.
Yep.
No,
So if you don't mind
never.
my asking, Rob, why is that, buddy?
Because that doesn't really hold much value to me.
Okay.
I don't know. It never really has.
Yeah.
I mean, even when it comes to like some people have these big dreams, which I've always had big dreams, but
But it's
Oh,
not like you need to be
it's
like
not tied
Scrooge
to that.
McDuck jumping into a pile
No.
of money.
my
Right.
my incentives are not cars or
Like material, like
yachts.
yeah, like the big like
like some
flashy
people
yeah.
today's music likes to flash.
Yep.
No, you'll never ever hear me saying that.
Yep.
And that's why hopefully the music I'm about to put out is going to reflect that and that type of message. Like we're going to have a good sound that's going to hit just as hard as today's,
Right.
but it's not going to be talking about that type of stuff. It's going to be talking about the stuff we're talking about, family
Yep.
and the real shit.
Getting away from like the material, like, and you know what? That's actually cool that you kind of mentioned that too, buddy. Is that you know, you think about your early days of like hip hop, for example, right? Like late 70s into the early 80s. It wasn't as material in the beginning. It was about having fun, knowledge, good time. And then as things started getting more towards
Mhm.
like gangster rap, for example, it got very much more materialistic. Like also rapping about real situations for those folks, but also like, look at my gold chain, look at this, look at
Yeah.
my cars. It's like, look at all my people, like my posse. When in reality, you think about
When
things
that's
and
fun.
that's fun, but like, are all those people that are with you because you have money really going to be with
It's
you? if you
become
were
the main
broke and like,
it's become the main focal
Yep.
point of what people are making, and that's where they fell off for me too.
I agree, and I think you know,
Yeah.
we'll get in. Like I said, we'll get into the music thing in just a second here, but you know. And that's an interesting too, is more people push away from like music labels
all
and
opinions,
go
though.
independent. Right? Yeah. No. Exactly. It's interesting how the field of music has evolved, and so how have you evolved in your musical journey? So when did you like start playing? When do you consider like this is the day that Rob started playing music?
That's a good question. When did I start? 3. I mean, I know I don't really. My memory doesn't really go so well that far back,
Yep.
but
Yep.
I do know there's like video documentation of me at 3 singing. So I know from at least that point I've been annoying my family and friends.
Yeah.
with my shit.
With your sound.
Mostly,
Yeah.
I started out Christmas time, breaking it out. You
Yep.
know.
Oh, right.
and-
With the classical Christmas carols, Christmas
Yeah.
concerts in school growing
yeah,
up.
I was
Yep.
in the church, so I sang a lot in church.
Oh yeah.
And the oldies, the rock,
Classic rock,
a lot
like-
of Eagles, the Eagles' greatest hits album,
That's a
the
great
highest
album.
selling
Yep.
album all time.
Yep.
That one was a constant on the radio in the house, so
Yep.
I know all the words to those songs. Actually, first song I sang was "Take It Easy."
Yep. Oh, that's a fan. I mean,
Yeah.
Eagles are a high pedestal of music and quality of music, and like I'm sure you've probably
Yep.
seen the video of that, like their harmonies, everything they did, the musicianship, everybody in themselves had basically a standalone career, and like
Mhm.
you know, if you've ever seen the video of like. They're warming up to do Seven Bridges Road,
Yeah,
and
I
they
love
just
that
they're in
shit.
that echoey hallway, and they just hit all those harmonies. Like I think it's like a 5, 6, 7 part harmony. It's crazy. Everybody has their own job,
special.
and it's just it resonates so well. And
The
I think
OGs,
yeah,
like all respect.
yeah, almost
forever.
definitely. and it's so that would you specify that those are a lot of like your musical like influences, or when you were early on? It was like
They were my
classic
early
rock and-
influences. Well, they weren't really influences yet,
Right,
But they were definitely what started me out
yeah,
and singing like the Christian stuff, the contemporary Christian stuff. And then
Yep.
as I got older, I kind of moved up. My dad was into the old rock, and he introduced me to the old records with the old bands like the Bostons, the Journeys,
Yep.
the Bad Company, ZZ Top, Led
Yep.
Zeppelin.
So like your 70s, 80s like
Yep.
rock, yeah. Which I mean that
And
stuff's I listen to a lot of that stuff.
11
myself.
years old, I picked up a guitar.
Yep.
And that's when those really came in to play. I got to shout out my Uncle Jeff, my cousin Ben, and Asa Jones. Those boys, they started me out with the guitar,
Mhm.
Over the Hills and Far Away.
Ooh, yep,
Wish You Were Here,
yep.
Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah, that's a they're all all
Heart
classics.
of Gold, Neil Young.
Yep.
I was thinking about these on the way over here, so I had a couple. But that's what was my beginnings. 11.
So
Right
like some
around
quality, I mean, acoustic and
11.
electric, just
Yeah, watching my
kick-ass
cousin,
stuff,
watching
yeah.
my uncle
Yep.
when I was 5, 6 years old, and I was getting ready to go for nap time when they were picking on the couch.
Yep.
That was me going, whoa. And they also were all hockey players from Maranacook.
Oh yeah.
And I was going to the hockey games, and that's why I played hockey for
Yep.
12 years.
Yep. Nice.
That was my first love before music.
Yep. Was hockey.
And it was all thank you to them. My Aunt Sue, shout out.
Yep.
She's a second mom to me.
Again, family playing such a huge role in why family is
Huge.
important. Family got you started, buddy.
It's all for a reason,
Right.
man.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I said.
Oh yeah, buddy.
And those boys, I got to shout them out.
Yeah.
They started me out, and then it was going to guitar lessons for a few years.
Yep.
And it just grew from there. When I had phases, it was that old rock, but then it was like metal and
Yeah.
Metallica and
Oh yeah.
Pantera.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and just trying to learn all of the licks and
Yep.
the intros and the cool shit just to show people.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even sing. Like I
Right.
wouldn't want to sing for no one.
Yep.
And then finally people were like, "You got to try to sing while you play.
What
Like
when
you're
was
a
that?
great guitar player."
If you remember, one around.
I
like,
played guitar till it was about 14, I'd
Okay.
say.
So like when you got into
So
high school.
2-3
Yeah,
years
Yeah.
of just like, no, don't ask me to sing.
Yeah. Just
Like,
I'm a guitar player.
embarrassed.
Yeah. Right.
And
yeah.
I'll rip on the guitar, and they're going, "Whoa, how's this 12-year-old?" Jimi Hendrix was my idol
Yep.
when
Oh,
I picked up the guitar.
gotta be as a guitar player. There's very
And
few that did it as well as he did.
Yes, that was my guy.
Yep. I mean,
And
you must like some Stevie
dude,
Ray Vaughan too. Then
I
so-
did,
Yep. Yep.
But dude, once I found Jimmy, that was it. I was
It's-
at Barnes and
you were
Noble in
hooked.
Augusta with Axis Bold as Love,
Yep.
playing the songs on the headphones.
With the headphones, where you could touch the screen.
know what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah, I know
about.
what you're talking.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So
I gotcha.
that Little Wing,
I have. Oh yeah.
just got me going.
Yep.
And then after that, once I started singing, it took over, and people were going, "Wow, you're a good singer" at my shows, and I was like, I was getting offended, like no one was ever saying anything about my guitar.
Yeah, but I can shred, guys. Come on,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like why aren't you paying attention to this? This is cool
There
too.
was a few years there that
Yeah.
really bothered me, but
Right.
then I started to accept it, and even more today now, which is helping me with this music I'm doing now.
Right.
Finally putting out my debut single, finally doing my own thing,
Yeah.
because I got stuck. And I gotta say real quick, because I was talking about this at one of my shows. I've been doing this thing performing for so long, playing other people's music and
Yeah.
stuff.
Covers,
And,
right?
And one of these days I won't be doing it so much anymore, but I'll never regret it, dude.
Right.
Because a lot of these songs, they hit everybody in a different way. They mean something different to everybody.
Oh
and
yeah.
met so many people, and just playing a song for somebody, that is, people don't really think that might sound like just nothing, but I mean, if you really break it down, somebody who just lost somebody, or somebody who's getting married, or
Yeah, oh, yeah.
somebody who's graduating high school,
High
or just
school or
Friday
fall-
night,
yeah, yeah,
Saturday night,
right.
and you're just having a good time.
Want to celebrate making it to the end of the week? Yep.
Yeah, there's a good Luke Combs song that my friend shared with me the other day about this. I forget the name of it. Doing This, I think.
Yep.
And it's just like, I'll never regret these freaking days, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty soon you'll be hearing nothing but my own stuff out of me, but I'm grateful for everything that, all these years playing these little licks on the
Yeah, yeah.
guitar, playing this stupid stuff.
Yeah. Or playing, like the same song
Yeah.
you've covered for 10 years, but you even have to.
I like to think that there's people out in the back that I didn't even realize that heard me sing something that it might have maybe kept them off the ledge or something.
Right. Yeah. Or
I really do.
right. And I mean, like
It's
that's
more.
what you-
That's why I don't like the money, dude.
right.
You asked me about the money a
Yeah.
minute ago.
Yeah.
Don't matter to me. I like
Right.
fulfilling people like
You
that.
want to help. You want to have your music actually have an effect.
Money's
And
not fulfilling.
not just the material effect of like I've streams equal dollar signs equal whatever, but it's also like you said, like if
not what it's
someone just
about.
lost somebody or going through a tough time and maybe that song
Damn right. dude.
help them get through that time, or for example, someone asks you to play insert cover song, blah blah blah. Maybe it's the song that they heard when they were
Yeah.
out for the first time with their
You
wife.
don't
or
know.
You don't know. Like you said, you don't know the story. You're just providing. You're just there in the moment to
Yep.
provide a goods and service in a lot of way.
Yep.
You don't know what that emotion is, but you somehow are still able to tap into it, and that's what's cool for me about music is being able to
Yep.
tap in.
You
Someone
know it.
else's,
You play too.
Yeah.
so.
Oh yeah. And that's. I mean,
There's
not
something about
not
it.
as much. I'd love to have the time to play out as much as you do, but Hey,
taken
man.
a lot of years to get to
Oh
that.
yeah, and
I've been gigging for 13 years now.
It's a grind. It's a grind, and like
from here to California.
yeah, well that's exactly it. And like I haven't had that.
Shit.
Like we were talking upstairs. I mean, like my life journey went a very different route as of recent. You know, in the last couple. I mean, I'd been
you
out
were
of
telling
school
me.
for the last couple of years and bummed around the political world for a little bit. Got myself
Been
into the
through
situation.
a few crazy things.
Yeah, I mean, made it through a year as a teacher, and now I'm actually just going back to KVCC for my electrical, certifications and whatnot, or to continue my licensing to become a journeyman and go through
Weren't
the ropes
expecting
there.
that.
Right? Yeah, like me, I to be honest with you, I wasn't. I really wasn't up until you realize, hey, you need to still eat, survive, and you need to have a day job. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to play music. I'd love to make music my job, but it doesn't always, as the starving artist paying the bills type deal. It's tough.
But you
It's
follow
tough.
your calling,
Right.
and you know what I mean?
At the same time, I'm glad that there are people that can, just like
Yeah.
take that, run with it, and because it's like I'm glad, like I might not be able to, but I'm glad insert person here can. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like I look at it any form of jealousy or anything like that. Like if you're going on stage every night and rocking and doing what you love, doing what you're like you said, what you're passionate about, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
And I'll support you 125%. So that's really unique, dude.
It's
And
real shit,
so
man.
what about specifically music, like when you were starting out really spoke to you? Like what really did it?
I don't know, dude. It just kind of, dude. Music called me. I just always done it. Like I said, annoyed my cousins, my friends. Like I was that kid that was like, dude, is he really singing again?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to hurt no feelings or nothing, but dude, it's just always come out of me. And it wasn't until 11 or 15 that when I started performing, really, that I knew it was something that I'd be doing seriously, or
Right.
even now, going to be 30 years old in November.
Right. I mean, that's
But-
a pretty impressive feat. Like you said, been doing it as long as you have, and
Yeah.
getting to a point now where you feel that things are taking off in the right direction, which is good.
It's
You know,
taken
like
a
you said-
while, but you can't think about that. Everything in life's reflective. Every person that I speak to, musician, electrician,
Yeah.
podcast,
Right.
every person that I meet, and it's all relative. What we're doing, what we want to do in life, and it's just like, you just got to be pushing forward. You got to be
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah, you got to be striving towards that point where you want to be, that end goal or wherever whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
You got to be striving towards
Staying
that.
positive,
Right, and working towards that. And so,
going where you're called.
right, yeah, going where you exactly. So you had mentioned that you had spent some time out in California, obviously doing some music stuff. So if you could go in a little bit more about that part of your journey before we get into the new stuff.
Yeah. So Callie and me, let's see. We started out right out of high school.
Yep.
I took off. I had a manager at the time, a local guy. He shout out Jason LeBlanc. That's my boy. He was a well-connected guy in the community. He knew
Yep.
a lot of people. He got me some cool gigs back here in the States and abroad, down in Jersey, a couple of cool things. He was a great guy.
Yep.
He's a talker.
Yep.
If you're gonna get a manager, that's the type of manager you need. Somebody who can talk, who
Yep.
can sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves. Yes.
Yeah.
And he was one of those type of dudes. He is one of those
Yeah.
type of dudes. That
Right on.
motherfucker. And anyways, that guy brought me out with him to Sacramento. When I was graduating, he had a job that brought him out there,
Mhm.
took a job. And I was like, hey, your mom and dad cool with it. They trust me. Come on out. You're more than welcome to stay with me in our place.
Right.
And I was like, Sacramento, that's probably like, the real big city, like flashing lights. Let's go. I flew into that airport, dude. And I swear to God, I was like, oh no, what did I do? Take me back. Because I was flying into nowhere's land.
Yeah,
in
it's not
northern
LAX, right?
Cali.
Yeah.
Yes, not what I expected at all. So, but it grew on me real quick. I
Yep.
got out there. I got out there. Made some friends. We had a lot of fun. Partied a little too much.
Yeah, as
Rolled
you
quite a
do.
few blunts.
Yeah.
I learned how to roll me a blunt out
Well,
there.
you're in California. I mean,
Absolutely, Northern California.
yeah, okay, yeah, right.
You don't get no better than
Yeah,
that.
and
I
that's
haven't
true.
seen no better
Yeah.
than that to this day.
Well, speaking of that, did you hear that Northern California Mike Tyson actually opened like a weed
Yeah,
ranch
yeah.
up there?
I heard he was
Yeah.
doing something
Yeah.
420.
I mean, this was
wise.
just back in 2019 when he
Yes.
first talked about it, so I'm sure it's open.
Yeah.
But anyway, quick. But
Yep.
yeah,
No, SAC was fun.
Yeah.
It was short lived. It was
Yep.
probably like 9 or 10 months, I think.
Yeah.
And I was back home, but it wasn't too bad. Shout out my friends Andrew and Robbie. Robbie Buck, miss you, fool. That was okay though. That year, Giants were winning the Super Bowl and shit. I went to my first NFL game as an 18-year-old kid. Me and my boy Robbie
Yep.
took the public transit from Sacramento to the Bay
Wow.
to watch the Giants play in 2011, the year they won their second one with Eli.
Yep.
And we went out there on trains, Amtraks, buses, all the way to the Bay, and somehow made it. Watched the game. Giants lost on the goal line at the end, just almost won the game, and it went way late. I thought we were gonna go in overtime, but we just barely made it back and had to get picked up. I think we would have had a long walk home, but we almost didn't make it back that
Yep.
night because it was so late. But it was like one of those once in a lifetime, never forget
That's cool. Yeah.
experiences. And then I came back. All right, I'll get out of Sacramento because
Yeah.
that was too short. After that, I came home for about another maybe year.
Yep.
And then that's when as soon as I got home, I knew I was already looking. The reason why I found out about this school in LA that I ended up going to
Yep.
was on a plane, I think, out to Sacramento. So, yes, as I was moving to Sacramento, he was a principal for a Portland area school.
Mm-hmm.
He had a son who was a drummer or something, and
Yep.
he had a band,
Yep.
rock band.
Okay.
And we were right next to each other on the flight to Sacramento.
Oh,
And we
okay.
talked.
Yeah.
And my son's going to the Musicians Institute. Really?
Oh yeah.
Out in Hollywood.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
this sounds freaking cool. Why am I flying to goddamn Sacramento
Sacramento,
right
right?
now and I'm not flying down there where your son is?
Yeah. Why am I not doing that? Right,
So
that's-
when I got
yeah.
home, that was on my mind. I
Yep.
immediately applied. Thank you, Mom, helping me freaking get that set up and out to Cali.
Yep.
By March 27th, 2013, I landed in Burbank
Yep.
with 150 pounds on my back and a guitar in my hand.
Yep.
I had like 2 or 3 backpacks and
And a dream, right?
a suitcase, and I huffed it. I got in a cab, and I was watching the number. I barely got on the road, and it was like 25, 30. You can't go cabs out there. You have
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
Uber, Lyft. You can't afford to go cabs out there unless you're like balling. And I was out. I had $100 in my pocket.
Right.
I had $1,500 to go do my first months and last months,
Yep.
and 100 left over to give me some food.
Right.
That was it, dude.
Yep.
And I somehow managed to make it 4, almost 5 years.
Wow. That's impressive. That's a lot of the time, like other friends I've had that have gone out and tried to do the California thing, or like other podcasts.
I had to have him let me out of that cab,
Yeah.
and I had to walk to the train or the bus. No, I had to take a bus from there to Wilshire in Vermont.
Yep.
So the bus from the cab I got out, I said, dude, I don't have the money for this. I'm gonna have no money. We're not even gonna make it to my destination. I see how far I'm gonna go, and we're already at $30.
Right. Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
out. And I walked to the bus stop. And dude, I somehow made it all the way there. Made
Yep.
my down payment. Walked a mile. I was sweating.
Oh yeah.
Back hurting. March 27th, I walked into my freaking apartment at 425 South Grandview Street,
Yep.
90057,
Nice.
and freaking I had some times.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure.
thank God for the connections that I made, because if not, I wouldn't have Made For You, and I wouldn't have Ryan Stockbridge out there helping me put these songs together, bringing them to life how I
Yeah.
always wanted them to be.
Yeah. So you just actually mentioned "Made for You." So that's your new single that
It
you just
is.
released. If you could give us a little bit of background for that, how the listeners can find
That's
it and all that.
honestly
good stuff.
probably the biggest reason I was so excited that you asked me to do this, because it's the perfect opportunity for me to do that and,
Yeah.
and talk about
Actually, do you mind telling the story real quick first about how
Absolutely.
we this actually kind of all fits in, because it all
Perfect
happened about the
timing.
last couple months. So I was actually out at dinner
Yep.
with a friend back, it was probably just early May or
Yeah.
late April. It was nice out and whatever. And so down in Hollowell, down at Bruno's, which great little pizza spot, wood-fired pizza, drinks, all that good stuff. And Rob was out playing on the patio, and it was getting closer to the end of the evening, not to reflect on your music by any means, but it was just getting cold, and
Yeah.
people wanted to go inside, but
Yeah.
you still had probably, I think, another hour or so to play, and so,
Yeah,
we
one of
were
those
being
nights.
a tough Mainer, sitting outside, enjoying
Yep.
the still pretty nice day, and, Rob looks down at us and says, "Hey, you guys want to hear anything?" And I'm like, any Sublime? And he goes, "Yeah." And then you broke right into Santeria, and so
Absolutely.
that was pretty much locked things in. I was like, you know what? I like this guy, and we started talking some more, because we were the only folks out there,
Yeah.
and like I said, no reflection on his music, just cold.
Absolutely.
And so you're like, "Hey, I have this new song that's going to be coming out," and he goes, "I'll show you a little." No, not that it would. I was like,
What
"You're
did
going
I
to get in
did
trouble."
I play it over the speakers?
You just a little snippet on your phone.
Yeah,
You know what
on
I'm
my
saying? You
phone.
just let us hear, and I was like, "Wow, this kills! Like
Yep.
this slaps! This is awesome! Like thank you!" Like, and that's when I just broke in. I said, "Hey, by the way, I have a podcast, and like, you want to come on sometime?" And that's really
how it
kind of how we
works.
that was awesome, and getting to talk with you more, and just you're like I said, folks. If you don't know Rob, you should go up and meet him at a show or something sometime. Real down to earth, nice dude, and also makes really good
While you
music.
still
So,
can.
yes,
That's what I've been saying. They asked me, they've been talking at my gigs last weekend. I was like, you guys got me for another like 2 years. And then I will make it as much as I can. But
Yep.
my goals are definitely.
Then there's gonna be you can't like touch
Yeah.
me in between the stage because
Or it's going to be harder.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's gonna
That's
be big
all.
dudes in black t-shirts doing, "Hey, get away from there."
Yeah, something.
You're gonna have to media pass to go.
It's going to change.
Yeah, but so
That's-
the new single you what released it last
June 1st.
June 1st, so a couple weeks ago now.
13 days ago.
Yep. At this time, yeah, and so
Yes, sir.
what was really the inspiration behind that? How did that? Mentioned it came out of your, and
This
you
is-
talked with
yes.
me a little bit more. Came out of your time in California
Yep.
and a few other things. So lay it on us, Rob.
This is where you guys all get to hear the real lowdown on Made for You.
Yep.
And this is so cool.
This is the official story, Do View podcast exclusive.
Yes, straight up. You
Yep.
get the exclusive.
I get the exclusive, bud. Thank you.
First here. You heard it first. So, Made for You was actually written, and we talked a little bit about it. It was started written in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, what, 2012?
Yeah. So this has been like 10 years or so in the making. Yeah.
Straight
well,
up.
like I said, it doesn't come overnight either, as I've said.
I wrote the bones for that track on a cheap keyboard in Sacramento in that first place away from home.
Yep.
That first home away from home, just out of high school. And it was shortly after, and I did that. And it wasn't really finished. I was never 100% happy. I liked like 80% of it.
Right.
But just enough to kind of just have there to put on the back burner while I'm playing and performing all these other like
Other
Mario
people's songs. Yeah.
and Neo and
Yeah.
stuff like Chris Brown and
Yeah,
stuff.
yep.
A lot of the R&B guys. I was out in Sacramento. I did a little. That was when my busking started. I should touch on that a little
Yeah,
bit
please
too.
do.
I've been busking since I was 16.
Yep.
Or not 16. Let me see. 18 out in Sacramento.
Yep.
The first time I ever broke my case out was in old Sacramento. Is a little, if you walk through downtown, you go through this little kind of overpass, like you walk under this in this tunnel,
Mhm.
and you come out and it's old timey westerny.
Oh wow.
And I used to break my case out there, make 75, 80,
That's
100
cool.
bucks a day.
Yep.
And I remember when I first did that, I didn't know if I was going to make any money at all, and people started throwing me money.
Yeah, you're like, wow. All right.
Wow, I can really do this? This is cool. I don't have to go get a job at
Yeah.
McDonald's. Awesome.
Yeah.
But I wrote that song while I was there. Came home. About a year later, went out to L.A.
Mhm.
I've been living in L.A. for about a year. I worked at a deli, and I'd done a little bit of busking. I was working at the deli, Vine Street Deli, on Vine Street in Hollywood. And I was working there a few days a week and busking. And after about 11 months there, I was making more in a day on the street in L.A. I started out in train stations and
Yep.
random places, and
Yep.
people were like, "You got to go to Venice Beach." The first day I was there, like I said, I had $100 in my pocket.
Right. Yeah. You
After
needed to
I
make
d-
some guap. You
I
needed
had
to get
to.
some cash
The f-
quickly.
the
Yeah.
f- I had $100, and I spent $5 on a large pizza because it was like up the street. El Pizza Loca was what it was called, and they had an advertiser. It was like a $3.99 large or something like that.
Wow.
And I went down, I got that, and I lived off that for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was pinching pennies. The next day, I was busking
Yep.
in Wilshire and Western, and some chick that I met on the street, she was just like, "Yo, man, you're really good. You got to go to Venice Beach."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Cool, Venice Beach. What the hell is that? Never heard of it. Never heard of it at
The
this
Venice
time."
Beach.
Yeah, and I'd never heard of it. I was 18.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
From Maine.
From Reedfield, Maine. Yeah.
I've never even been to California. And I was like, okay, so I was in Venice Beach the next day. I found it on the Google Maps. I got on the bus.
Yep.
No speaker, nothing, just guitar, my voice out into the acoustically
Yeah.
with my case open.
Yep.
Got the worst sunburn I ever had in my life that
yeah,
day.
Sure.
Because I played like 5 hours with my shirt off. I had a strap mark across my back. The rest of my back was red and
Except for
white.
the one white
I'm a
stripe.
white guy.
Yeah.
I'm very white. So that stripe, it stuck out. And I couldn't
shoot.
sleep for 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I grew from there and I bust and I made it. My main spot ended up being the Santa Monica Pier. I got
Oh, yeah.
so much love for that place. I had a friend, real quick, just to like make myself sound cool
By all means.
and name drop real quick on you guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Eric Burton of the Black Pumas.
Yeah.
You may not have heard of them or
Yep.
not, but the Black Pumas, they've really blown up the last few years.
Yeah.
I watched them start from really nothing to just like a few thousand Spotify monthly listeners to billions. I'm
Yep.
talking crazy.
Take off. Yeah.
They're
yeah.
now around the world. I just saw my guy on a CMT commercial the other day. He's doing something on CMT coming
no
up.
shit. That's
and
cool.
he's not even a country guy.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
living the life. Shout out Eric.
Yep.
Dude, you're way too big to be listening to this, but hopefully one day I'm freaking like we're, making music together again, dude, because
Yep.
that dude check out the Black Pumas.
Yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
they just went huge.
Yep.
Worldwide. There's people all over the world that don't even speak English that like love these
They
guys.
know their lyrics.
And it was cool. I shared the pier with him.
Yeah. Right.
And we were all on that same plane, and
Yep.
that's why it's so cool. And I get excited about
Right.
talking about these
yeah.
guys
Yeah.
because they were nominated for Grammys for the last 2 years running. Probably going to be 3 this coming year. They were the first one was Best New Artist, and this other artists that were nominated were Lizzo and Billie Eilish. And
I mean,
someone
that's
else.
That's
I
tough.
was looking at
but
them in the 4 Pain thing on the
next to people with top 40 hits.
Yeah, that's
you know,
what I'm
like
saying.
you gotta. Again, it's hard.
And we used to be shooting the shit.
It's hard to fight the
Living
the
out
good-
of our guitar
yeah,
cases.
right. It's a hard fight, but it is worth it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
that
It can be
moment comes-
done.
yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely.
It inspires me. That's what it tells me.
right.
Is that if my friend did that, he met the right people,
Right.
he did the right things. If I do the right things, that could be me too.
Time and place, buddy. Time and place. And so
So
it could be your time with the single. And so
yes, with Ryan, I gotta shout
Yep,
Ryan
yep.
out. So finally, after spending some time in Venice and Hollywood a lot, I used to play a lot on Hollywood Boulevard and Hollywood and Highland train station. When I finally made it to the promenade and the pier,
Yep.
that's when I heard this dude, and he was playing a drum kit with a guy named Clint from these 2 New Hampshire kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? These 2 New Hampshire kids, and I'm hearing them playing Jill Scott, Long Walk, and my boy Ryan was holding down a pocket that I had never heard. It's like watertight, like, dude, airtight
Mm-hmm.
pocket that like just like knocked you off your freaking feet.
Yeah, you
And I
felt
was
it.
like,
yeah.
I was so jealous of Clint going, damn, because he was kind of off limits. You
Right.
couldn't touch him. There was
Right.
there was other performers that would have loved to have this dude drum for them.
Right.
But it was, I was just waiting. And I'm
Yeah.
playing on the pier where there's a lottery at the system at the pier. So there's spots. And you
okay.
every morning, 5 times a day, at certain times a day, you get together
Yep.
and they raffle out names. You
No
try to get a
shit.
good spot.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you get the good spot, you make good money.
I would have never known that. I just
But-
assumed it would be like a free for all. Like,
Some of it is.
I'm here at 4 a.m. I get the spot.
Some of it
first.
is.
Like, yeah. Oh, that's
Venice
crazy.
Beach is like
Yep,
that
yep.
because they don't. The earlier you get there, then the
First come, first
yeah.
serve.
So
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people show up at 4
That's
a.m.
crazy though. I didn't realize. So Santa Monica has like a lottery system
For the
for
pier.
street for the pier for
For the
street
pier.
performers. So that's
The
that's
promenade has rules too.
Crazy. Yep.
So that was one of the more stricter areas. Hollywood Boulevard. There's you just have to worry about some of the businesses.
Yeah. Yep.
And but that was territorial because there was groups of dancers and stuff and groups of performers.
Oh
that
yeah. Like
would
that's our
have their
block.
spots. And dude, I almost got into multiple fights over stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah, but literally, I hear that dude playing drums, and I was waiting for my time, waiting.
yep.
And we'd met, we'd been friends, but we hadn't really got to play together. And then Clint
Yep.
moved back to New Hampshire. So Clint, thank you for doing that. If you ever listen to this, I love you, dude. He's a way better guitar player than me, dude.
Yep.
Like he's an amazing. I watch his videos I follow him
Guy's
on
tight.
Facebook,
Yep.
and I still like I call him the chords that this dude can play and stuff
Yep.
like are way beyond
Okay.
like most
Yeah.
people's comprehension. And
Yep.
I respect that dude musically, wicked.
Yeah, most definitely.
But New Hampshire dudes, which is so cool because like as a Maine guy in LA,
Right, like these are our neighbors. These are our buddies.
my producer
basically. Yeah.
he's out in LA.
But he's
you know,
from
he's
New
killing
Hampshire.
it
Yeah.
doing tracks for freaking Snoop Dogg and
Yeah.
shit. But he's freaking from New
Yeah,
Hampshire.
he's a Granite Stater. He's
Yes.
a buddy. He's a
Yeah,
neighbor.
live free or die hard or whatever
Yeah, live free and die, or if you want to. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
whatever it is, dude. Those guys are amazing.
Yeah.
And again, Clint had to go home. Wish he could have stayed, honestly, because like we could have put together something nasty. But when he went home, I was like, Ryan's mine.
Yep.
I was on him that day.
Yep. Yep.
What? He's not here no more? Dude, come play with me. And we played on the pier together quite a bit.
Yep.
Ryan, he played drums, a small little kit.
Yep.
We cut a video once on my Instagram of Just Friends by Music Soul Child, and Soul Child, his Instagram actually liked the video.
That's cool.
That was a cool moment.
That's cool.
And that was one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
But Ryan, I came back home in 2017, and he's been out there. He hasn't come home yet, and he won't. I don't know. I haven't asked him that, but he has no reason to. He's out
Right.
there working for, I think the name is, don't correct me if I'm wrong, 15 or 100. I always do that. 1500 or Nothing Productions. And he produces for all genres, all
Yep.
different types of artists, way bigger than me. But I was lucky enough to freaking meet the guy and connect with him like that
Yeah.
on the pier.
Early
and
on
those,
in his
those early
yeah.
days of
Yeah, yeah.
his too.
His struggles and
Yeah.
his coming like you guys both kind of came up together.
Yeah.
Right? You ran through the streets, literally ran
Yep.
through the streets together.
I was
so-
blessed enough to have that happen with him because I believe, dude, it was all lined up, divine interventionally.
Yeah.
And we were made for those paths to cross just so that this song, Made for You, could be made. And it's not just gonna end there. I've decided every song I produce is gonna be
with him.
with him.
Yep.
You know, it's just that's the way it's going to be. And things are going so good right now. The sound is so good. I can give him anything.
Yeah.
It's tough because most producers that you find, and I've been meeting producers for a long time.
At least a decade.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, because it's been that long since I moved to
13
LA
You
now.
said 13 years.
I
so
started
at least a decade.
really
Yeah.
meeting producers when I moved to LA.
Yeah.
Some in Sacramento. So 2012 to 10 years
Yeah,
of
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
And most of them are that Ryan could play a guitar. Ryan could play the drums,
He
like
can
I
pick
told
up,
you.
he's-
He could
yeah.
play a bass. He's a nasty piano player.
Right.
I call him a musical genius, and I don't feel wrong in saying that. And I can bring, like, most producers, they'll be like, here's the song. Here's
Yep.
the track. Write to it. Oh, you have anything to say about it? I'm the fucking producer. Fuck. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, that's
Don't tell me
right.
how to do that.
What do you know? You're just
No.
like,
How do you give somebody like that, hey, I wrote this song on a guitar or a piano, and
how do you give
all
them
right,
a electronic track and say
No.
do something with
They
it?
can't
It's
do,
like
they'd see, no, I'm gonna make you this beat and you write to it. No, this guy, I can give my music and
Yep.
he can turn it into what you hear now.
he puts the instrumentation around
even
your
better.
lyrics. Yeah.
It's
that's-
like a photographer that like you got old Grammy freaking taking the family photos on her freaking
Yeah, on
like
her, on her,
flip
on her,
phone.
on her, or click,
Or,
or
yeah,
Kodak camera.
exactly.
Click, click,
Or you
yeah.
pay the photographer
With a
and then
Nikon.
you
Yeah,
show
yeah.
put the two pictures together.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Don't get me wrong. Grammy's picture gets it done, but
Sentimental.
it may
But-
mean something, but step above.
That's what I'm saying.
And you got to be a step above the rest these days. As you know, being in the music field, it's
I'm learning
it's
every day.
fists and elbows a lot of the time, to get above
Oh,
or like
yeah.
to get like, hey,
Oh,
look at
yeah.
me, I stand out, I'm different, like whatever that or whatever that might be in that capacity.
It's all elbows
Yeah,
and knees and freaking
blood,
kicks to the
sweat, tears.
groin.
Yeah, oh yeah.
People don't give a shit.
No, but where can people find your single, buddy? Where can-
You can find me on all platforms at Rob Burnell Music, at Rob Burnell Music for all my social media. And I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, all of those.
all your major
Amazon.
streaming platforms.
Rob
Yep.
Burnell,
Rob Burnell.
ROB BURNELL.
Rob Rob Burnell, and I'll have everything linked in the description
Absolutely.
of this episode too, buddy. Obviously.
RobBurnell.com.
Check
you
him
know,
out,
the
guys.
website.
Like I said, I've seen him play a few times now.
My
and,
Linktree's got everything. Linktree.com/RobBurnellMusic.
Yeah, that's an awesome spot to have everything together.
I've seen
man.
yours. Yours
Yeah,
looks really nice
Yeah,
too.
Linktree/DoView Podcast.
Absolutely.
It's so simple to have everything in one spot. So if anybody is using, I wish I got sponsored by Linktree, but that being
Keep
said,
it up, and you
keep
will.
it up, right? But it's great to have
That's
all.
the
If you
only
have
way.
any type of content creation, it's great to have all your stuff in one place. Either
Yeah.
if you're a musician or a podcast host. So that's a great time. And so when you're in the studio, it's you by yourself or you with a microphone. But when you're playing out like in the Augusta area or Hollowell or wherever you're playing, I've even seen you the Point After up in
Yeah.
Winslow, right? I work our shop's up there, so I
Shout
go
out
I go
Stan
by
the
there.
Point.
Yeah.
Shout out Lisa Bucher.
Yep. But I see you, your name all over the place, place to play. So when you play out, do you play with a band or are you usually
Both.
solo?
Well, everything, dude.
Yep.
Like I play a lot solo. Sometimes I play a duo. I got a full band that's like 4, sometimes 5.
That's exciting.
Sometimes we strip down and do a trio.
Yep.
It's just that's fun for me though. I consider this music that I'm putting out as right now my career and my work.
Yep.
And this other stuff, yes, it's work. And
When you're playing with the boys, it's still work. It still pays the bills, but you're also having a good time doing it with buddies, right?
I got to keep it as my fun.
Yeah.
Because that's part of my problem up to this point. I've made it my number one.
Right.
And it's part of I've got a lot. We haven't even talked about it. I mean, I lost my dad 2018. That like put me on the ground.
Yep.
And, a lot of other things have happened in my life in that time too that have
Right.
slowed me up.
Yep.
Probably a lot self-inflicted.
We're our own worst enemies sometimes.
Self-inflicted,
myself included.
Outside inflicted, all of it combined. But you know what I mean? It's not about time. It's not about like yesterday, today, none of that. Timing is perfect. Timing is his timing.
Mhm.
That's what I got to keep telling myself.
Right.
And the fact that I might have had my whatever you would like to call it, like my path in the right direction, or if my compass might have been off skew just a little bit,
Right.
it might have been, but I got it on north now.
You're back on True North, right? And
Yes.
like I said,
and if I keep that stuff my fun and I put my full force into what I'm doing now,
Yeah.
watch out. I really believe
look out, world. Right.
there's a good chance.
See, it's all about
Just
putting
as
the
much as
pieces
anyone.
together at the right time, buddy. Like you
Yep.
said, it's all like I said, and you're at a point now in life. I feel talking with you that you can reflect back on what you've done and where you've been and where you've come from. Perhaps people we've lost. I can relate to that in the last. Like I said, I've talked about this before on the podcast, but in the last, 2020 would have been 2020. Or 2021. I lost 2020. Lost both in the year span to 2020, 2021. Lost my grandmother, who was 93 years old, lived a good long life, and I lost a good buddy of my dad's, King, who was just a good mentor. People that are heavily influence you when you're young. You know what I'm saying? And it's it's tough. It has, and especially when you have an outlet such as music that is so emotionally charged. It's when you feel like you just said, you're at the bottom of the bottom. It's sometimes hard to get up and put out that content. And like same thing, it's like
Facts.
hard to like just even like think about anything outside of that sometimes. And so that's like a normal part of the process. And you got to do what you got to do what you do. You know what I'm saying, to get through things.
Yeah, it ain't easy.
No.
But
Like the music reflects it, and like I said, or whatever we do in life, our goals and our hobbies and passions reflect that.
Yeah.
And like I said, music's such a powerful force that it can pull us out of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. The power of music's universal, man.
and everybody's going through so many problems, so that's why I have a hard time letting, even as bad as mine may ever seem,
Right.
coming my way, because there's people out there. That's why I'm a documentary watcher.
Yep.
Ashley would be laughing at me right now, but it's because those type of things inspire me, dude.
Yeah.
And watching people that have overcome like crazy
Great
adversity.
adversities. Yeah.
How the hell can you have anything to say? You got to believe in yourself and put it out there.
Right.
I got to keep doing my music and
Yes. Yeah, you
believing
do.
that it's going to happen. You got to keep doing these podcasts.
I'm
and
gonna
just-
try.
And
Yeah.
throwing that, I say it's throwing that rock out in the water, dude. And
Skip it. Yeah,
you're
see what's gonna
skipping it,
happen.
dude. Making those ripples and watching them come back. You and I meeting was one of them coming back.
I think
to
so.
me.
Yeah.
You know,
I couldn't agree more. Like I said, things just worked out so well
It
and with the
always.
time, and so like I said, guys, I listen to, like I said, I'm a fan. On top of
I should have asked you this, dude. How is there any way we like play this song on the spot or on the podcast? Like, wow, like, hey, take a 2-minute break and listen to this song while we.
I can't because of probably because of copyright.
That would've been cool,
Probably
though, right?
Spotify or somebody will slap me, or like YouTube will like cut the audio or something.
How do I just
I'd love
say
to,
it's
yeah.
cool? It's my song. I got the rights. So,
Like I said, yeah.
I got that shit all.
Yeah, we'll work
squared
on
away.
it. Like I said, I'll be sure to share like some audio for the song. Like if it comes up when I'm doing my Spotify the
Yes.
story on Instagram, if it comes up, I'll be sure to have that in there. Like I said, it'll
You've
be
got
pushed
my
out.
permission.
All right, I've got listen
So
up.
that's documented.
Well,
BMI, whenever you're coming after this guy, I said it's cool.
I said it was cool. Oh shoot. That's funny. So speaking of, do you have any music? Do you have any upcoming gigs that you like to promote, buddy?
I got a few.
Yeah.
I got first one, Waterfront Wednesday in Augusta. All of them are gonna be Maine.
Yep.
Augusta, Maine's got a Waterfront Wednesday thing they do every year. They got every week on Wednesday night, starting at 6:00. As long as the weather's good, because it's
Yep.
outdoors. I think last I knew it's at Mill Park.
Yep.
So let me start over. June 29th, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Waterfront Wednesday in Augusta. Next one would probably be Brewfest, Augusta's Brewfest.
Oh, is that in
August
Yeah.
6th.
I'll be at that.
There's gonna be a few
be at
bands at that one. That's
Yep.
gonna be a really fun one. Probably a few thousand people.
Yep.
Hopefully, if it's a nice weather and
Yep.
everything. Again, Mill Park,
Yep.
same spot.
Nice.
And then we have the Skowhegan Brewfest. That's September 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. That's a
That's
Saturday.
early September. Yep.
And that they shut down the whole main street. It's like an awesome brew fest. All the
Yeah.
breweries
Oh,
are gonna
yeah.
be there. A few bands, live
Yep.
music, cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm a Skowhegan born and raised actually.
No
so,
shit.
Yeah, that's
I've
where
been playing there.
Yep. Oh yeah,
quite some time, too.
Skowhegan's changed a lot since I was a kid, and
That's funny.
I can't unfortunately say for the better, but like it's a cool spot.
What year
though.
were you?
What year? So I was born in '96.
So you were 2014 or something?
15 for high school.
15?
Yeah, but actually I went to Coney though. We only
you
lived up
did?
there for a couple of years, but yeah,
Okay.
it's a small world though. Skowhegan's
is.
like my like I said, my other home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Scow.
Skowtown,
My
baby.
brother had a freaking house out there for quite a few years.
Yep.
Had
It's a
some
beautiful little
good
area.
times. Yep.
Somerset County is really nice.
Quaker Hill.
Yep.
Quaker Hill. Disc golf, baby.
Yes, sir.
You can't go on a main podcast and not hear about disc golf or breweries.
That's true. One of the other at least. Most definitely. I actually have like a running list on my phone of all the breweries I go to. I have all over New England, and beyond.
Oh, yeah.
frankly. Yeah. There's some great spots out there. You ever? Did they ever have music down at like Beto Brewing down in Gardner? You ever
I
played
played
down
there.
Yep. Yeah. That's
I have
awesome
played
spot.
there. Yep.
Awesome. So you said Skowhegan Brewfest in September. That's
Gardner,
awesome.
I mean. Beto.
Yeah, and then Beto, and
Yeah,
so
that's Gardner.
yeah, that's Gardner. Sorry. Yeah. But that being said, though, and I'll have all the dates for all of your gigs and whatever linked as well, with all your stuff there, including the.
There's a
the
lot of
single.
them.
Yeah.
I'm
hey,
like 7-8 gigs a week
that's good.
right now.
We would love to, promote them, and we'll be sure if you have a list of them, send them my way, buddy, and I'll put up a
Cool.
little graphic or something to help you out.
Cool. man.
Happy to help. And so, what are your kind of plans, for the future, buddy? More music, maybe an album? Like, what do you, just
Definitely an album is
Yep.
in my thoughts and my goals for the future.
Yep.
Really just trying to put together 10 or 12 songs
Yep.
and take them on the road wherever I can get. Once I get, like I said, 10, 12 originals recorded in the studio,
Mhm.
or maybe even beforehand, as long as I got that 10, 12 songs, I'm about half of the way there right now, I
Mhm.
feel. I'm going to start using the connections that I do have to start getting us on like some bills with some bigger acts.
Yep.
Whatever that may be, I don't know, but whether it's in state or out, wherever I can get,
Yeah, like open for some folks. and
what I've
stuff
been
like
telling
that.
people is I'm gonna get Rob Burnell Band as one of those little names on the big flyer
Yeah, yeah.
underneath the big names, and
It's an
as-
okay spot to
get
be
my
as
foot
far
in
as
the
I'm
door.
concerned. Yeah.
that's where I'm keeping it. I'm not shooting too high. I'm keeping it small, and then when I get there, then I'll aim higher.
Yeah.
But really, right now, I just know what I need. I need that 10 or 12 songs. I need to keep building the following. Working on, I should shout out TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. I'm putting a lot of work into that. And
Yep.
if you guys could follow my TikTok, follow my YouTube,
All that
and
good
even my
social media stuff.
Spotify.
Yeah.
You can follow the
artist,
artist
yeah.
on Spotify too, so you'll be notified when I'm dropping the new songs.
Yeah.
Next one's coming out probably end of the summer.
Yep.
I should have a rough draft of that song any day now.
Love to hear it at some point.
Yeah. I'll even shout you out for doing this, dude. I'll send you a little like sneak peek or
Yeah,
something
I'll
before the masses.
if, keep it under 30 seconds, and I can I'll throw it in an episode
Please do.
later in the summer. Yeah,
But
that's where 30 seconds. I think is where the FCC.
I
Lets
think
you
I could
be
do
or
that.
something like that.
I think I could do
yeah.
that.
Give me the chorus or something. Yeah, that'd be awesome, buddy.
But
Definitely give everybody, myself included, something to look forward to. That's exciting.
trying,
I wish
man.
you the best of luck. Especially
appreciate it.
like an album's no easy feat. Like I struggle even just getting like a single song together some days.
I got an album worth of music,
Yeah,
but 10 of
right.
them I'm like, no one's hearing that. Sorry. You're
Right.
hearing my good shit.
Right. Well, and on top of that, even being like up to where your level of quality, saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm cool with putting," like you said, like your most recent song, "Made for You," like that was 10 years.
Took
in
10
the making.
years.
And there's
It
nothing
took
wrong
Mead
with
and
that.
Ryan.
Yep.
And then I didn't even get to finish that story. It took Mead and Ryan, and when I was going to school at
Yeah.
the Musicians Institute,
Yeah.
recorded a version of that.
Yep.
Ryan, while I moved, probably either right before I moved home or after I was back in Maine already, took the acoustic version that I had recorded at the school, isolated a vocal track, or it might have been not even that. No, I always thought that it was from that version,
Mhm.
but it was actually from a YouTube video that somebody made of me in the train station
Yeah.
in Hollywood. He took that YouTube video, isolated the vocal out of it,
Yeah.
and made
And
a
put
little-
it to the music.
put it together.
Yeah.
and sent it to me, and it sounded totally different than it sounds today,
Right.
but it still had the same like the R&B and the hip hop
the
producing
foundations had been
in
laid,
it.
right?
Yeah. So we
yeah.
heard kind of what it could be, and I was just like, oh shit. And then 6 years went by from that moment.
Yep. That's crazy.
Because we say now him and I go, because it was 10 years from when I wrote it, but 6 years from when him and I were playing together,
Right.
and he heard Made for You, because I was performing it out on the pier,
Right. Yeah.
but I was only playing it live. I was too focused on that and the life, the lifestyle.
And not so much on the recording and
Yeah.
documentation side of the music
As I am
process,
now.
right? Yeah.
Dude, if I would have had the mindset now,
You would have probably done it a little bit in reverse, right?
yeah, we would have done this while I was still
Yep.
out there in LA. It would have been crazy. So that nowadays we could have done. This is 6 years. We could have done this, but we don't talk too much about it. We're talking about what we're doing, and
That's good. Hey,
yeah.
always forward, never backwards, buddy. That's super important, especially when
Feel
you're
free to get excited over this shit, because if you think Made for You sounded good, this next stuff is
Yeah,
we're
like
only
I said,
gonna get
I'm
better.
excited for it. Like I said, when you played for me that little snippet, man, I was like, all right, we got something here,
Yep.
folks. We hit pay dirt. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to see that too, especially like whereas maybe like, for me, I don't listen to a lot of R&B. Like I do listen to R&B, but it's not like my main genre I listen to. I'm a Deadhead. I listen to a lot of classic rock. I listen to a lot of Grateful Dead. I listen to a lot of hip hop or country music. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
R&B is not my first stop, but now. Like
But
stuff like, but it was refreshing. That's for me. It was.
if you listen to
know.
my stuff though, and you're not an R&B person, I feel like you're still my stuff's like different.
it's
not.
accessible. It's still very accessible to the non-R&B.
It's not
super
like
fan.
the
Yeah.
R&B that you're thinking in your head. You got to listen to it and make your own assumption.
Right.
Because
Yeah. No, exactly. That's what I was getting at. Is like you got to come in with this. Like even if you're not like, oh, I'm not an R&B guy. You got to come in
You
with
probably
that
got
fresh
something
perspective.
totally different in
Oh
your
yeah.
head.
Oh yeah. And like I said, like. Man,
Yeah.
you got something there, and like I said, I hope
Thank you, dude.
it's done well so far. I hope it just keeps
Just hit 10K today.
That's fantastic, buddy. Congratulations.
Streams
Yeah,
on
right.
Spotify.
But that-
I should specify what
That
I'm talking
doesn't
about.
matter. It could be streams across
Yep.
the planet.
I
that's-
never
that's-
expected it would
yeah,
happen that quick.
That's awesome.
Not gonna say I don't have one account that's running 24/7. Not a paid account, so there's a half an hour ad every once in a while in there. I probably got 2 or 3 off and on.
Yeah,
But hey, we're at 10K
that's
today
impressive. That's
on the 13th.
yep.
It was such a great day.
So basically, song's
going
been out
just how I
for
want.
just shy of 2 weeks and
Yes.
already hit 10,000
Yep.
streams.
Yep.
That's awesome, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, dude.
That's fantastic. And like I said, I'll have to check back in with you in a couple weeks and see how things are doing. And I just
We'll see.
keep running.
What's the next? I'm running for 50.
whatever you honestly whatever. Yeah,
I guess
like
50 is the
50,
next one
yeah,
I gotta
that's the
be-
next, yeah.
Let's get 50.
50, 100, and
Yeah.
then just keep rolling. That's
Yep.
like I said, buddy.
Keep
that's,
collaborating. Keep
Yep.
doing stuff with people like you.
Yeah, hey,
Local businesses.
yeah, no. Most
Shout out
definitely.
Northwood Outlaws before I
Yes,
get out of
yeah.
here. Cole for crushing this song like I knew you would. First person I gave the song to, first person that gave back to me with a verse. Thank you, Cole.
Jumped on with some bars. Like that's the first thing I
Yeah.
said. I thought it was you. To be honest, I thought it was you at first. I looked at you. I
So did
remember I was
Ryan.
like, "Yo, do you have bars?" And you're like, "No, that's not me. That's the guy at North
Yeah.
Country." I'm like, "Oh yeah, they play at Barnyard and blah 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 blah."
Yep.
Like, yeah, yeah.
You ain't the only one that thought that.
Yeah.
We do kind of got a similar voice, but he's more southern than me. He's
Yeah,
from
yeah,
West
yeah.
Virginia. He's still got his little southern
Twang,
accent
yeah,
that I
yeah,
don't got.
yeah. Right.
Chill.
Yeah.
He's got that after. Check it out, man.
Yeah,
it's good
that's-
music.
Yeah, no, most definitely, buddy. Well, Rob, thanks so much for coming on, buddy. Greatly
Thank
appreciate
you for
it.
having me,
Yeah,
dude.
of course, dude. Of course, you're welcome back anytime.
I would love to.
And that being said, guys, make sure you check out all of Rob's stuff. I'll have everything linked below, made for you on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of those fantastic listening platforms. And just thank you guys for tuning into this episode. Like I said, just trying to focus on a little bit more music-oriented stuff here. And it's summertime. Go listen to some live shows, guys. There's plenty of good stuff out there, including Rob. So
yeah, buddy.
so
Let's
that being
go.
said, check out Rob. He's all over the Augusta, Central Maine area.
Yes.
And like I said, guys, keep up to date with the DoView podcast on all of our
DoView.
social media platforms. DoView 207 on Instagram, the DoView podcast, just about everywhere else. So that being said, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you back in another couple.